Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another segment of Truth by Billie Beene. Special report, today's date, October 24, 2022, new. This is my third YouTube channel. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share. Episode 449, Nuke in a Plane in Ukraine. Nuke in a Suitcase in the U.S. Nuke ordered to build Z. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Dr. William Mount, Canadian prepper, Alexander Mercouris, Israeli News Live with Stephen Benoon, Duran, BP Earthwatch, Plus. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, now Alexander Mercouris, a London-based journalist, is coming out with different intel that's given us more insight into what's going on. So let's get a map going. Okay, so we've got Ukraine, we've got Russia, we've got those new areas of Russia, formerly in Ukraine, Luhansk, Donetsk, Kherson, Zaporizhzhia, and we've got Mykolaiv here, we've got Kiev, we've got Gospinel Air Force Base right here. It's a Ukraine Air Force Base. We've got Crimea, we've got Belarus, we've got Poland, we've got Romania. Okay, now Alexander Mercouris is coming out with this. Recently, the Minister of Defense of Russia, General Shoigu, called his counterparts in the U.S., Britain, Turkey, and Turkey, and once they heard all the evidence, I mean, they're now having Russian subs in their waters to protect their pipeline, Turk Stream. So, what's coming out is that one of the reasons Ben Wallace made that rush trip to the Pentagon had to do with nukes and nuke material, because it's coming out that a source of a possible source of a nuke material may be from Britain. Now, Dr. William Mount is bringing out another source, so I'll get to that. Okay, so Russian intel is that they've picked up chatter, that phone calls that Zelensky, the current head leader of the government in Ukraine, had contacted nuclear scientists inside Ukraine and gave them an order to build a dirty bomb. So that's going on. And Alexander Mercouris is bringing this out. Yeah, but if Ukraine used a dirty bomb, they would lose the support of the West. It isn't the West support that Ukraine has. It's the support of the deep state who's in control of the West. And the deep state could care less who gets hurt with a nuclear bomb. They have certain objectives to achieve: destroy the economy and the people of the United States, and destroy the economy and the people of Germany and Europe. And they're right on track with it, aren't they? Okay. Now, Alexander Mercouris has this intel that in Kherson, Russia is going to recruit, but I understood they were already recruiting to put together a militia to provide security and administrative objectives, and they will be part of the Russian military. And that way, the combat professional soldiers of Russia in this area, and we understand the total number now in this area is 220,000. In Kherson alone, something like, I don't know, 6,000 to 9,000 Okay, now, Alexander Mercouris is hearing this, that some of the troops to be rotated out includes the paratroopers and the Chechen Republic force. And he's bringing this out about the paratroopers, that early in the war, that would have been February of 2022, they had an assignment, their light mobile forces, to go into Gospinel to take a plane and also to neutralize a nuke that was in a plane. Now, this information correlates to what came out a few weeks ago from R Bentley. He's an expat from Texas who's now a Ukrainian, now a Russian citizen, who spoke about that same thing happening in Gospinel early in the war. So this information coming out from Alexander Mercouris is corroborating the information that came out from R Bentley a few weeks ago. So early on, Russia knew that there were nukes inside Ukraine, and one was in a plane in this Air Force base located close to Kiev. So that's going on. Now, Alexander Mercouris is bringing this out. In this area, and further down, there's a dam and a bridge. Karhova Dam, and there's a bridge also that's being bombed, and it's believed that the attempt to bomb the Karhova Dam in this area, and also up here, would be to flood Kherson, cut off the drinking water to Crimea, but cut off the coolant for the Zaporizhzhia, a nuclear power plant. Now, apparently inside Ukraine, the U.S. government has withheld strong, concrete, penetrating bombs, and Ukraine is not able to take down the dam with the weapons they currently have inside the U.S. So it's believed that they're trying to put together a dirty nuke and put it in this area, Mykolaiv, have it detonate, then take out the dam, and then release the nuclear material and cut off the cooling to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and then have that go active and release all of that radiation. So that's believed to be the plan. Now, Alexander Mercouris is bringing this out, that Russia, for the dam, they're releasing water. And Alexander speculates that maybe it's to raise the water level for the pontoon bridges they currently have going, and need to move troops from the east side to the west side of the Dnepr River. So that's going on. Now, we have this. Yeah. And Duran, which is Alexander Mercouris and Alex Christoforo. Okay, the deep state want to use a dirty nuke, and the NATO design, to draw in the West. But no, that's not going to happen. Now, they're bringing forth that hundreds of thousands of Russian troops are coming in to Ukraine. And they're going to take out the Ukraine infrastructure. Okay. And the prospect of using a dirty nuke at Mykolaiv and blow the dam, and then have it affect the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. That's going on. Now, Dr. William Mount is bringing this out, that China is the only nation besides the U.S. that has one missing nuke, and the U.S. has 40. And Dr. William Mount says that recently, it's the NSA and the FBI who build what's called suitcase nukes. And this is in the world, according to Dr. William Mount. They build the suitcase nukes. And recently, he's saying there was a flight. He's implying FBI. And there was a plane, and it had on it 24 baseball-size nukes, which could then, be put into a small container like a suitcase, called a suitcase nuke, where you would put it in your suitcase and then put a lot of stuffing around it, but you would still, and I guess you could wire it. Oh yeah, that reminds me, in the movie Some of All Fears, they had a nuke that came in from Ukraine on a ship. It was in a cigarette machine and went to a stadium in Baltimore and then blew up. And it was on the level where it's of the Camel cigarettes, and then the wiring went there. And I've been hearing the Camels are coming. So, just saying. All right, now we have this, 24 baseball nukes. Now, Dr. William Mount is saying they set down in a plane, and it was so fast that the Russians couldn't come in and secure it because there were 24 trucks or individuals or something, and it immediately went out in 24 directions. Dr. William Mount did not say where the plane landed, but he is putting forth that there is nuclear baseball-size material available in the Ukraine area that Ukraine could be using in their suitcase nuke or their small nuke. So that's coming out. So, and he's also bringing out Dr. William Mount, the head of DOJ, Merrick Garland. I've done a previous video on him. And FBI Chris Wray, and I'll be getting into that in a future video. What about that shootout at the FBI in the last few weeks? What happened there? So, now Dr. William Mount is bringing this out also, that the NSA, the FBI, have placed a baseball-sized dirty nuke inside a U.S. city, and that would be Chicago. So, we need to have everything out on the table so we know what to pray about and against, and to recall that God is in charge, He is on the move, and He sent down His seraphim angels to help us battle against all this evil. I love you, and I'll see you soon.